Hello and welcome to Great Hang, the greatest hang that's ever hanged. I'm your hang, Tim McLaughlin, coming to you with your other hang, Myka Fox. Hello, Myka.
Yo, Tim, what up?
What it do, yo? How are you?
No, bad start.
No, it's
terrible
a good start.
Great. Wait, it started being a little urban to full-on AAVE theft. We're not culture vultures here at the Great Hang podcast.
I don't think if you say things in this tone, if you say, what it do, yo, I don't think that's culture theft.
It's dork theft. It's theft of dork culture.
That's fine. I'm
what
allowed
it
to steal
do,
that.
yo? It's what, 90s hip-hop slang?
You got it, my soul sister.
No, stop. Wrong.
Myka, we have a great guest today.
We do.
Introduce his fucking ass.
You may know him from being an incredible comedian and friend of ours, Steve Malden, everybody.
Hello.
Is that the last name you
What
want
it
us
do?
to use?
Yes, thank you, Steve.
Yes, I've had 7 last names in my career
Okay.
as an open mic comedian. My real last name is Mulcahy.
Okay.
No one could say that, so I decided to go by Steve Jones. That lasted like a couple weeks.
What were you, a member of the Monkees?
I don't know why. I think, and also there was a reason, I can't remember that, like, Steve Jones was a bad person. Like, there was a famous Steve Jones who did something bad. And then I went by my middle name, which is Gerard. And when I was moving to New York from Chicago, where I met Tim, somebody goes, "Hey, there's another Steve Gerard here who you guys maybe know."
I had met him before. I don't think, does he do comedy anymore?
Well, I don't know, but when I was moving here, somebody said that there was a very well-established comedian who did weird alt comedy named Steve Gerard.
He was not well established, but there was a weird alt comedian named Steve Gerard.
Shout out Steve Gerard.
Steve Gerard, wherever you're at, dude. Sorry, I changed. And then I lived on Malden Street in Chicago, and I went outside one day and was like, "I'll just be that name." So this is my 4th name.
How whimsical.
It's whimsical.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you have a new name, you can inhabit a new space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I picked Myka Fox.
Myka Fox, Tim McLaughlin are both great
Yeah.
names.
I think Tim McLaughlin too boring.
No, Tim McLaughlin is it's a song of a name.
I think it sounds like a guy who's getting yelled at the mall.
That's because that's what he used to do.
Get yelled at the mall.
Oh, yeah. My wife would be like, you didn't park close enough. You missed all the spots.
Wait. You didn't have a wife. That's a...
What? False
We're
premise.
We're just
the
doing
false
bits.
premise.
I meant because he worked at Sharper Image and was probably bad at it.
No. You think getting drunk while I was working at the Sharper Image with Mike Mello would make me bad at my job? Or taking Valium before I went into work would make me bad
You
at my
were a
job?
pill popper?
I took a Valium once before I went into work at the Sharper Image. It's the only time I've taken Valium.
Oh, you'll have plenty of opportunities to take a sit break, Steve. Tim's launching into one of his first of many stories about him.
And I go, so anyways, Steve, this is a little part of the show called Tim's Story Time.
Okay.
No,
And so I take a Valium before I get into work. Now the Valium is hit and I'm on cloud 9, just having a nice time at work. This gentleman goes, hey man, how does this clock work? It's a clock that shows the light on the ceiling. So the light goes to the ceiling. So when you're laying down, you can see what time it is on the ceiling.
Got it.
And I go, it works great, man. And then I just walked away. And he went and grabbed me by the shoulder and he goes, no, like, how do I make it work? And I go, oh, I have no idea.
he's like, we haven't even figured out how to make me work.
It was almost like a who's on first kind of confusion.
Yeah.
There. You're like, oh yeah, it works great. Goodbye.
If only Tim could do that on purpose.
Yeah, that would be nice. Steve, you're going to have to hold the mic up a little, not that close, but not in your mouth.
Hold on.
You're going to have to hold the mic a little closer.
Aaron,
Right.
what is isn't it this? Or
Is that right? I hold it about here.
They say a fist's length. Tim will show you one in a minute.
No, I have to take it out of my ass first. So, Steve, very funny comedian. Steve, you've been killing it lately here in the New York comedy scene. People are abuzz about you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So we had to have you on before all these big pods get you, and you're too busy for us.
Yeah, I know it's bound to happen. It's funny. I check my Instagram. You know how you're like, wow, I'm doing great. And then you have weeks of like, whoa, I'm not doing great at all. Like, I felt like I was doing a bunch of shows, and then it just dries up. You know. I guess you guys don't know. You do.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done shows in a long, long time.
No, you have.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had a show all month.
So I see clips though.
Yeah, those are from past shows.
I see.
Oh, so here's what happens, Steve, on social media is things aren't always as they seem.
No.
It turns out you can take a clip from any time in history and put it up now. And then
No way.
It's incredible what you can
Yeah,
do. You
yeah,
know,
I
you
don't
can
know.
even stand up here and put a laugh track in.
Yeah.
People think you're in a cool apartment show.
Whoa. You know, what if this was the first time I realized
Myka,
social media isn't what it is? It hurts my feelings all the time. Like, there's a guy we know who...
Or is he?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, or is he even... or is he a guy... Actually, can I say names on here? Or?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
He's very funny. His name's Eric Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious guy. He posts clips, and I was like, man, you're killing it. You're killing it. He goes, no, man. That's one show that I've been chopping up. You know?
Yeah.
That's why you have to dress nondescriptly. This
Yeah.
is why another reason why comedy hurts women.
That's a good, actual, really good
Oh,
point.
because women have to dress all nice to
Yeah,
everything.
you
so
dress
that-
all nice, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, does she wear that dress everywhere? Does she wear that? Because you wear things that stand out as a
Totally.
woman.
Yeah.
The trick is, you fucking just got to keep it real neutral like
You
a
know
man.
who's proving you wrong on that? Every woman that goes to Steve's open mic. I'll tell you that.
What? You don't think I noticed that they're wearing the overalls again? How many fucking women in overalls do you have at your mic?
A lot of overalls.
Ooh,
yeah.
we should make a little counter.
fucking...
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of overalls, a lot of eccentric dress.
I'm like, oh, really? Winter overalls? I didn't know they made winter overalls.
What? Myka, what are you talking about now?
You,
don't know
it's a
they made-
summer thing. Overalls is a summer thing. You got a piece of hay coming out of your mouth. You're painting a fence because Tom Sawyer said it was fun.
What?
Tim doesn't read. He
Yeah.
cannot catch
I
these
understand the
literary
Tom Sawyer-
references.
I understand the Tom Sawyer reference. I don't understand. You don't understand that you can wear overalls in the winter. They make overalls for the winter. This is some
Okay,
Arizona
blue collar
shit.
truther.
I'm just saying.
Jesus Christ.
You just don't understand that they can make thicker clothing that look like overalls.
Tim, it is called playing along.
And I didn't want to do it because it was fucking insane. I want other people
Look
to
how
think
mad
that
he
I'm
is.
a fucking idiot
taught,
too.
Here's the fist, and here's the fist.
I didn't make the fist.
You mean your fist will ball?
Yeah.
No. Well,
And
yeah,
there
when
it
Myka
is.
says
Here-
fucking...
Here comes Arthur, mad again.
Yeah, when Myka says the dumbest shit I've ever heard, like, I didn't know there were winter overalls. Myka, no one wants to play along with that because we also don't want to look like fucking dumbasses.
Steve.
I'm thinking about this overall question.
Yes, I've decided to ponder upon it.
Well, I remember when I was in like.
Steve's doing a stall tactic. Classic childhood divorce.
Oh, definitely. I would love to do a poll. How many comedians have divorced parents? You think 100%?
Well, not Tim, but does
No.
Tim count as a comedian now? Yes or no?
I'm more of a truth teller, I guess, too.
Yeah, Tim's just like, my parents are together, so I'm more of a humorist.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Tim.
My parents are still together. I had a wonderful childhood.
Oh, really?
There's literally no reason I should be doing this.
Oh, except that you're good at it, and
Oh, well, thanks, Steve.
yeah.
Look at him doing it again. Making the peacemaker Steve.
Yeah.
Middle
And that
child
remi-
Steve.
and that
yes,
reminds
I am
me-
absolutely the peacemaker, and have been for my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of another story.
Oh, no.
No, I don't have one.
Can we quickly say that when I walk, we are
Good luck.
dressed.
You better fucking get it in fast.
Did you notice, Tim? When I open the door, we're dressed basically almost the same here.
Oh, wow.
That's because it's a
cool.
holiday-themed episode of the pod.
Yep.
I guess I have like burgundy on or whatever.
We all match.
Yeah.
The color scheme.
Tim doesn't even match himself.
Well, I had to take
Tim
this.
does what's called power clashing.
Sure. But I also had, I don't know what that is, but I had to take this shirt, I had to put this shirt on before we started because I was taking the ACs downstairs, out of the window, taking them downstairs.
Ladies,
And,
Yeah.
you think you're so cool being single? Well, look what I have.
and I looked
Closed
down,
windows.
I looked down at my shirt and there's just clumps and clumps of like fucking lint and hair and shit that had just accrued on the AC that had gotten on my shirt.
yeah, yeah.
And when I was getting the other one out of Myka's office, she kept staring at my shirt, and I was like, I wonder why. And then I come downstairs and I look down, and I was like, oh, it was covered in shit, and she didn't tell me.
Well, he was talking, and if you interrupt him, you see that fist again.
Wrong, bozo. It's so crazy. But Steve, what have you been up to recently? This is catching up.
Oh, this is catching up. What have I been up to? Well, Myka and I were talking in the kitchen, and I'm doing Sober November.
Oh, how's it going?
You know, it's better now.
Have you been nutting, though? Because it's
Oh,
also
yeah.
No Nut November.
Yeah, why'd you skip Sober October, the classic sober month?
That's weird. I didn't.
It
really,
rhymes.
It does. That's funny. Yeah, it does rhyme.
Maybe you could call this Remember November because you remember what happens now.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
That could be.
This is why Myka works in advertising.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll say this. Every month for the last probably 6 months, I would start. I'm doing it this month and then fail.
How far do you usually get?
Man, I one time got to like 23 days and
Oh,
failed.
no.
And then I don't know if you all are the same, but my mind I have to close the circle in the right way. So I'm like, I got to do it the right way. I have to do a full month.
Yeah. So, and now we're on day 18. Okay. So
That's pretty good.
Pretty
You're doing
good.
good.
But you made
Feels
it to
good.
23 and then gave up.
I did. And this is even worse.
23 and 1 for me, old Stevie.
Oh, that's good too. This is the rhyme show.
That's true. It is.
God,
It really
brutal. Why did that hurt my feelings more than anything Tim has said so far?
What? Okay, do you guys know Joe Wiener?
is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
work with Joe Wiener.
Love Joe Wiener. So the other day, I was at her show. I went to see her show, and we were talking afterwards, and she said something, a movie line. I don't even remember what the line was, but I went, ha ha ha, like that. And she went, ha ha ha, back to me. And I was like, oh, God. Did I just do that? Like, I wasn't even conscious of making that.
You're not even aware when you're a phony piece of shit.
I know. I was
You
like,
just do it out of habit.
it has been plaguing me. It's made me, like, reassess my whole being.
Jill will hurt your feelings.
Okay, is that...
Yeah.
And I was glad she did, because I was like, oh, my God, Jill,
And I was
I'm so sorry.
What a peacemaker. I'm glad you hurt my feelings.
Can I say, though, that I struggle to genuinely laugh? Do you all...
We'll try and make you do it today.
Yeah.
We're going to get a real one out of you. Now that's a challenge accepted.
But so, yeah,
Maybe.
I've been doing a sober... this
So
going well.
remember November.
Yeah, Remember November. That's very good. I'm doing that one now forever.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know. I'm going to roll it over maybe next month, and we'll see. But actually, no. I have a friend coming into town. Do you ever do that where you're like, I know this is going to happen, so I have to
Drink, that's called alcoholism.
Yes.
100%. I used to plan my every day around how I was going to drink.
Really?
Well, because like I like to exercise, but alcohol really gets in the fucking way of that.
It
You
really does.
Can't exercise drunk, so any point after you start drinking, that's a no-go, right? You're hungover, you don't really want to work out then. So I would sit there and plan my workouts around when I was more and less likely to drink.
Wow.
And then I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It was you were like, it was a little bit of a wake up, like, oh, you became conscious of that. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh no.
Yeah, but like when you start planning, oh, this person's in town or this event is happening, and all of a sudden now it's deciding when you drink, not you.
Well, that's 100% what I've always done. Mm-hmm. And you know what else? One time I did a year. I turned 30. This has always been my thing. I also make huge ultimatums with myself for some reason. And Bobby Condon, our good friend.
Yes.
He doesn't understand it all, and he's like, why do you do that? Or I'll be like,
Bobby is a hater
Yeah.
through and through.
He's a hater and also a psycho, so who cares what he thinks?
But I'll be like, I'm not gonna look at Instagram for a month or whatever, or I set these weird times, and he's like, okay, but why? So I'm constantly
Why would you want to better
Yeah,
yourself?
he's like, why? And I'm like, because it makes me feel bad. And he's like, okay. But so I'm always trying to, every new month I either try to add something good or take something bad away. And I almost always fail completely.
Well, it's good you're trying, though.
Yeah, you're probably, think of how fucked up you'd be if you didn't even try to do those things.
Totally.
Just
Yeah.
adrift on your own vices.
Yeah, and when I turned 30, I was like, I can do a year sober. I made it 11 months and 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
No.
And then you quit in the last 2 weeks because it was the holidays?
No, I went on a date, and I was like, I just couldn't see a way. This was before I knew you could say, I don't drink, and not feel lame about it.
So you had not gone on a date for 11 months and 2 weeks?
No. I don't think. But this was, I had maybe been hanging out, but this was like a woman that I was kind of excited about. And I just was like, I'll look so lame if I don't have a drink. And I totally got drunk.
So you hadn't told her, you'd seen her before.
This is our first date.
God, and so you just couldn't figure a way around saying, I'm not drinking right now.
I couldn't do it. We met at Warby Parker. Have y'all been there?
The glasses place.
store.
Glasses place. And she said,
Did she put glasses on and see you, and you put glasses on and saw her? And you guys were like,
no, she was very cute and clearly probably got asked out, you know.
Oh, keep your mic up. There
Sorry
you
about
go.
that.
We want to hear all of this.
Probably got asked out all the time, you know. I'm sure you know this, Myka. You know, as it goes, as a beautiful woman in the world. So I was like,
fuck?
I mean,
Sorry,
I
Tim.
ended up with Tim. So how do you think? How do you think it was going for me?
I think Tim is very hot. I've always thought that.
No, Tim is very hot, but he is,
Yep.
not asking people out.
Yeah.
no.
Tim has zero game.
I got no riz, brother.
I don't think that's true.
No, I got no riz. I'm a long con guy. You got to get to like whatever I'm bringing to the table.
Tim's game is, what if I just keep showing up as though it's for somebody else?
This is what I do.
Wait, so how are you a long con guy? Like you plant the seed and then
I don't plant any seed. I'm just fun as hell for a long time,
I
and
see.
eventually,
And they're like, if that's her type, then maybe she'll do all the work.
I remember.
So you were hollering at this lady at the Warby Parker.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I just was gonna say that I always feel very safe when Tim's around. Like if anything goes down, we're good. You know.
Oh sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I keep him around. You know?
Totally. So I was I was talking to this girl, and we were kind of jiving, and I said, "Hey, should I not have said jiving? Was that bad?
You can say
that's
jiving.
fine.
You can say jiving. Take a sip and think about it, but you can say jiving.
Jiving." So
Let's put it up in the poll, Tim. Can we do polls on our Patreon?
Yeah, but I would say vibing probably more.
vibing.
Yeah.
Okay. We were vibing, and you can always tell. Like I don't know, maybe it was with you two. Was it that way when you first met? Was it just like you feel it?
Like after the fourth time and I remembered who he was, it was on.
Okay, cool. I will say
He
later.
just whoosh.
Yeah.
I will, I will say later that there is someone in who I know who was very like he's the hottest guy.
Who, into Tim?
Yeah, and you know her too.
Oh, it was
What the
Bobby.
hell?
Wait,
The
We'll talk
lady?
all- no, it's a woman.
wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Wow.
Steve, if you tell him who she is, I might lose him. You
That's
absolutely cannot tell him who this person is. You can
That's-
tell me, and then I can decide.
Steve, does she work at the post office?
No.
The post office ladies love Tim.
Women who work at the post office love my fucking
I
ass.
bet. Why do you think that is?
Well, I come in a good attitude. I think they like that.
Yeah, you're respectful.
I'm respectful, and I make little jokes,
Yep.
and they go, "You just too damn funny." They go, "Look at you." I've several times women at the post office go, "I could just eat your ass up," and I'm like,
Tim's
"Yeah,
like,
man."
I'm not into butt stuff. Don't get near my butt.
I can 100% visualize that right now.
I
Yeah.
go wipe it with some mail first. Am I right, ladies? Got a hemorrhoid.
Wait, why are you going to the
Dear
post office?
God.
though?
I used to sell.
Why are you going to a post office?
I haven't been to a
Steve's
post
got
office
the
in-
deep questions.
I haven't been to a post office in 20 years.
I
Or
used
maybe 10
to
years.
I used to buy and sell trading cards, so I'd go to the post office and sell. This black lady in front of me in line. So we were at the post office. This dude's banging on the door because they were 2 minutes late to opening. And this is some Puerto Rican dude. He's banging on the door. This black lady in front of me is like, "Stop banging on the door. They will not open. They don't give a fuck. They will stay closed." And then
He's going postal.
she starts yelling at him. He starts yelling at her. Then he starts yelling at her in Spanish. And she turns it to me and she goes, "Man, once they start doing that birica shit, there's no talking to their asses." And I'm telling you, it's the hardest I've ever laughed before 8:30 in the morning, I think, in my life.
Good.
Birica. I mean, now I can't not hear it in this neighborhood. I'm like, they are saying Birica.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? What is Birica?
I don't know. I
You'll
think
know- you'll-
it's just the inflection in which people speak Spanish.
Oh, it's like Birica.
Yeah,
Okay, I see. Did you guys hear me say she went postal?
No.
Oh,
God.
no.
You know when you have a little joke and you're like, I'll say that. And then it comes out and you're like, oh, no. So can we edit? Let's edit out when I said, oh, no, she went postal.
Okay, but we won't edit out this part.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the Warby Parker girl, I was like, look, I know this happens all the time. I wouldn't do it if I didn't feel a connection here. Do you want to go out sometime? And she says, she had a process for this. She goes, this is how I handle this when it happens. Here's my email. You can email me. If I like your email, I'll go out with you.
That's cute.
I know, and I was like, okay.
Cool. That's really cute because then she can put the rejection on your bad email persona.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so smart.
So-
if I'm ever back in the game.
Yeah, you can email me, and that gives her a way to see. Okay,
Yeah.
So I slave over this email. It was not long. It ended up being like 4 or 5 lines.
Yeah, it can't be poetry.
No, you can't go on and on. But weirdly, I don't know if you guys believe in fate or you're not religious, right?
No, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm always surprised when I'll talk about.
Micah's not religious either. She just is a Jew.
Okay, I see.
Tim, shh.
A practicing Jew? Do you?
No.
Okay.
I've perfected it.
All right.
That was good.
It's not mine.
Oh, well, yeah. What is that from? Actually, it's from
Paul Rudd,
Oh, right in.
Between Two Ferns.
Yes.
This is a fun game.
Yes. Between Two Ferns is so funny, by the way.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
watch that.
So what was the
Okay,
email
so
you sent her?
I sent the email, and so the reason I asked about religion is because I don't know if you believe in fate or things are meant to happen, but there's this band Lower Dens that I was going to see on Friday. Or no, I'm so sorry, I confused that. A band Lower Dens that I had been listening to, and I said in my last line, I was like, and I'm really into this band Lower Dens lately. So I wait a day. That day was brutal. She didn't respond. The next day she responded, and she said,
A thrill.
I have tickets to see Lower Dens on Friday. Do you want to go with me?
Wow.
So I picked the one band out of. Isn't that weird?
That's great.
Why did that happen, though? Do you think that was.
I don't know.
Probably
That was
to get you to drink again.
Yeah.
Whoa. No.
Do you think that was fate telling you that you should be an alcoholic?
Yeah. Maybe you should drink now too.
Oh, I didn't. I never linked that up. No, it was fate giving me an opportunity that I squandered self-destructively too, because I don't think I deserve to be happy.
Oh, Steve.
I mean, do you all feel that way?
That you deserve to be happy? No.
I think you should be happy.
No. I have that feeling really bad a lot of the times where I'm like, no. When
You
I feel
deserve
good,
to be happy, Steve.
Thank you.
Do you go to therapy?
I used to, and
But you were getting too happy and you had to quit?
in Chicago, I had a therapist, and when I moved here, we kept talking over Zoom, and then one day I logged on, and there she was, and I could tell from her face that something was wrong, and I was like, what is it? And she's like, we can't keep doing this because I'm not licensed out of state, and I could get in trouble.
Oh.
And I was so devastated. So I'm still healing from the scars of that trauma.
Wait, is that real?
Damn.
I didn't realize that it was like a lawyer. Like you can't.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I
And
think she doesn't like you.
I know, Myka, don't say that. No, I spent
Micah, don't say that.
this
to Steve.
narrative in my mind. I was like,
I mean, you could quickly Google whether or not she likes you by finding out
I
if that's a
will never
law.
Google that ever. I don't want to know because I spent a month going. No, she just came up with that. That's not real. I mean, it's Zoom. Who's going to ever find out that we're talking? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I mean,
Myka.
All right. That's enough of that. Now it's time for plugs. Steve, what do you got coming
wait,
up?
I didn't hear how it went wrong with Warby Parker.
Oh,
Oh,
Warby
yeah.
Parker. So then we go to the show, and she, like, right away we were kind of hitting it off. And I just was like, I can't tell her that I don't drink. She will think I'm the lamest person in the world. And so I just drank, and because I hadn't for 11 months and 2 weeks, I got totally drunk and lost all my charm and, stuff. And, and I remember her looking at me, and it went well for like the first hour and a half, and then I had 9 beers, and I was like,
So your
Beer's really
compromise, your compromise wasn't, I'll sip on a beer or two and
No.
make it look chill.
No.
You went, well, I get it. That's alcohol for you.
I made up for lost time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, rock and roll. I said, like, rock and roll, something, and she's looking at me like, oh, no, I gotta get out of here.
This guy's philosophizing rock and roll to me. What a dickhead.
In an alternate universe, who knows? We could be married now.
Yeah.
But,
You could have saved her life by getting her sober.
right. Totally.
She's probably dead in an alley.
Is she dead?
No. I don't know what happened to her. Usually when things don't go well, I block it off and, forever and never look at it again. I know people who do the opposite, where they're like, oh, I'm looking at my ex part or whatever.
Oh, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm
out. Blocked. I'll never look.
Except for every now and then I'll take a look.
Really?
Yeah, just to be like, is this person still a piece of shit? Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the Warby Parker story, and
I liked it. It was a
liked
good
it, too.
story, Steve. Lots of twists and turns.
thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. And there's one other part. I was 33 and she was 23, which I didn't feel great about.
I would have felt.
You were like, I'm going to look not cool to this woman I'm too old for.
Yes.
Woof.
I was 33. She was 23. I didn't feel great about it. I felt freaking awesome about it.
Well, I talked to a friend and I was like, am I... is this too, and he was like, no. And then I asked her, I was like,
Who is your friend? Was it Blake Burkhart?
Oh no. and then I asked her and she was like, no. And then I think she said something like my last boyfriend was 45 or something.
Oh, no.
I know, so I was like, okay.
Oh, before we go on to plugs, I want to tell you this. So I was talking to a friend of ours. I'm not going to use his name, but he's sober. And he went out on a date with this girl. And on the date, she took 2 shots. She took 2 shots and drank 2 vodka lemonades, like big ones.
Right.
And I'm like, but she knows you're sober, right? And he was like, yeah. And I go, that's a red flag, my man. I say, you bang this lady or whatever, but you can't be getting in a relation with her.
Like right away, she was like, shot.
Well, I don't know right away, but throughout their date, she had 2 shots.
Jesus. Who does shots
Just
on a
does
date
shots on a date
with a sober
with
person?
a sober person.
That is
so funny.
Here's
to
the
me.
thing: is I used to like when I was dating, I would do shots, but like secretly. Like before I go to there, I'd go to a bar first and just be like, let me fucking get in the mindset of like whatever, goosh, then go be drunk.
Totally.
Not get drunk in front of them. Be drunk so they don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The shots. That's a red. Like on a date. That's a
like you don't even have the fucking wherewithal to hide your alcoholism. You're bad.
Yeah. But it was a very funny story, and I laughed and laughed about it. I thought it was very funny. All right.
That's another name we'll have to get back later.
And I'll tell you the other name off camera because
it's too juicy
this
not to
person is
know.
a big deal now, so, you know.
Really?
I don't want to get a lawsuit.
You could have fucking fucked your way up even higher than me.
Megan Stalter? Anyways, here we go. It's plugs. It's time for plug. Oh my God. Damn.
Wait, was it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
How did you guess that?
What?
Holy shit!
I don't know. She's the only person I know that's a big deal.
Yeah, you and John Margeluski, she was really into.
John Margeluski.
She liked Bad Boys, man.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Damn. Myka, you're out.
Tim, I'm pissed. Go get her.
Megan Stalter, listen up. Myka and I are done. I like you and your money. I will see you soon. Dude, but I got to watch that new movie she's in. I'm really happy she's been succeeding. It's very cool.
Stop kissing her ass. You can't have her. You're mine now.
She's the coolest person I've ever known.
This is pissing me off.
She really, I knew, we all knew she was going to be big, but
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that movie, the guys from SNL, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's enough of that. That's a good part of the movie, or a good part of this. Whatever. It's time for plugs.
Movie?
I was gonna say we're gonna plug. We were plugging her movie basically, but
okay.
I fucked up. Steve, go ahead.
Plugs.
Yeah, plug your shit, dude. What you got?
When Bobby was on, did you do like maybe get some hair plugs?
No, that would have been good though.
Okay.
You can do that now.
Okay. Hey, Bobby, plugs? Maybe think about the hair kind.
Damn.
Right, that's good. Oh, Bobby and we went to Boston, and he called out this guy, one other bald guy. The guy took it so horribly.
For being bald?
So Bobby goes, look, it's my bald brother right here. What's your name? The guy goes, he was from England. It doesn't fucking matter. And I don't know if that's English accent, but...
it was good. It was good.
Bobby goes, okay, Bobby, he keeps pushing. He should have just been like, whoop, moving on. But he goes, it doesn't fucking matter. And Bobby goes, come on, what's your name? He goes, oh, John. He made up a name. And Bobby is like doing they're like doing their bald stuff.
Yeah.
The guy, I don't know. And so then after the show, Bobby went up and was like, hey man, trying to shake his hand. And the guy wouldn't even look at him.
Wow.
Because it's like, you outed me as being bald,
Yes.
even though anyone can see that the second they look at me.
I want to know what you both think about that, because then Bobby wouldn't let it go. He was like, hey, come on, man.
Of course.
Shake my hand.
Yeah, of course you don't let it go. He's a fucking psycho.
That's so funny.
And the guy goes, you got what you wanted, now fuck off.
Was this after was Bobby wearing a hat and he did the thing where he goes,
he did the-
I was bald
yes.
the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
and there was only one other bald guy, and it was this guy. And so we theorized about why the guy acted that way.
Some people are real sensitive about it.
But you then wear a hat.
Yeah.
Then then.
Well, do you and Bobby have any shows to plug?
Oh, sorry, plugs. Yes, plugs. Here we go. Plugs. Let's see. Man, I don't have any plugs.
Was that bad, Tim? I just sneezed.
No, and then you looked in your hand.
I was making sure that it was wet, and it was.
All right.
Wet sneeze. Do you like sneezing? I love it.
That one felt pretty good because I was stifling it for a while.
Oh yeah, it's orgasm of the face. All right, let's see here. Can we take out that orgasm of the face thing?
No.
Staying in.
Okay, so let's see. Plugs. Well, I wish this was a month ago because I had lots of things to plug. I was going to Boston. I had 2 shows. One was at the Gutter.
Oh, yeah. One where word got back to me while I was still working there that Steve murdered harder than anyone on the show.
Thank you, Tim. It was one of those ones that worked, and you guys know my style. When it works, it really works, and when it doesn't, it don't.
And one of the bartenders goes, there was one guy, absolutely the best guy on the show. He goes, another guy really bad. I go, was he bald? He goes, no. And I was like, fuck, I was hoping it was Bob. I was hoping it was Bobby.
I know exactly the other guy that she is referring to. Okay, plugs. Let's see. Well, I don't know if you knew this, but like my main thing in Chicago and here a little bit more now that I've been here for a while is music. So I'm working on a new album, a music album with a friend of mine, and I really like what we're doing. So that's going to be coming out. You can check out my music. The band name is Sofas. Don't make fun of it, please, okay? Sofas.
People have made fun of this band name, it sounds like.
Sofas.bandcamp.com.
Sofas, don't sleep on it.
Go to sofas.bandcamp.com. Don't sleep on the sofas.
And that's that was my, the music that I've made is all there. And we had a new name for our project, and it was Burner Phone. That's kind of cool,
That's
right?
pretty
That is a
cool.
cool name.
Fucking Walter White ass.
Didn't look on Spotify because I didn't want it to be taken. Finally did. It's taken.
Ah, bummer.
I know. So.
And you can also follow him at Steve Malden.
Yeah, but as Steve Malden, check out my Instagram stories are really good.
Yeah, Steve has good
really
Instagram
original.
stories. Yep.
The other day I did one that was because you know how people say life continues to rip, and they're like, have you seen this?
No.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's
yeah.
like they're like their arm is around some big comedian, and the caption is life continues to rip. Like their life is kicking ass. So I did one that said life continues to rip, but it was the pants were torn.
Oh.
Classic
You
stuff.
can look up that
Have you guys like visual puns?
Yeah. Also, if you like Darren Carter, the party starter, Steve shares his stuff all the time.
I had to block. I had to unfollow. I couldn't do it anymore. And the funny thing, do you know him? The guy that goes, I like my women like I like my...
No.
And then people yell something out from the crowd, and he does like a joke about it.
Yeah.
Can you maybe put that up? Hold on. Here. Should we wait like 30 seconds?
Tim doesn't do this.
Yeah.
It's work, and he doesn't do that.
I will put a link to Darren Carter, the party starter, in the description.
The guy has like 500 clips on Instagram. Every single one of them is him going, I like my women like I like my, and then the crowd yells out, bananas. And he goes, bananas. I can't even think of anything.
Hard on the outside, but when you peel them, they get real soft and mushy.
Yeah, and then they go, woo! And then he shines a flashlight and does a beatbox. That's his whole thing.
It's sick.
And he's famous.
I mean, he has like 300,000 followers or something.
You would be
But
thrilled.
He's been doing stand-up for like 35 years.
So there's still a chance for you.
Yeah, Darren Carter's been really working at it for a long time.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him, but I heard he's a very, very nice man.
Well, this has been a fun plug section for Darren Carter.
Darren Carter, and we run a mic on Wednesdays that I really enjoy doing. Tim and Myka come all the time at
Yes.
Pine Box Rock Shop. And I've got something, I'm working on a show that I'm trying to get going, so more TBD.
All right, and also check out the Tough Questions podcast with me and Jeff. You can check that out. You can check me out at hot_comic69. December 1st and 2nd, I will be, actually the shows are sold out, so it doesn't matter.
Whoa.
But I'll be opening for Jeff Arcuri with Jeff Sheen in Des Moines and in Tampa. We will be there the 15th and 16th. And more dates. I have dates with Eddie Ift coming up next year, so check those out.
That's awesome, Tim.
Thank you.
Sold out shows.
Sold out shows. Not because of me, but
Yeah, our Curry. Really
Yeah, actually,
popped
now
Yeah.
that if Tim puts his name out there, maybe a few will open up.
yeah, a few seats will fucking get open. So if you want to come, Myka, what do you got?
Just follow me on the old socials at MYKAFOX, and please subscribe to our Patreon. Give your friends and family the gift of hate. Greathang.com.
Patreon.com/greathang. Check it out. It's a great show. We're going to have Steve on for our Patreon episode after this. It has already come out, actually. And we're doing another parade.com.
I can't even do my own fucking...
You were going greathang.com.
You fucking interrupt me. I can't even finish my own plugs. He has to talk over me during plugs. The least important section that people probably skip over the entire time.
Bitch didn't even get the Patreon right.
Well, maybe, you know what? Don't subscribe to it. Let Tim fucking sag on... Fucking
Go ahead. Come on. You got it.
jump on Megan Stalter's coattails. I'll fucking live with my riches alone and save a shit ton of money, and I don't fucking even need your ass. Suck my dick. Don't subscribe to the Patreon. Fuck off.
I get on Megan Stalter's coattails. Her fans will be upset.
Yep.
What? That she bags a hot piece? I think
No. I think they'd hate everything about me. But, Myka, are you upset about this?
Yeah, I'm fucking furious that you interrupted me during plugs, the least important fucking section. Nobody gives a fuck about our plugs.
Patreon.com/greathang.
Can we just move on to the next segment?
Can I plug Myka's Twitter? Because you're like one of my favorite Twitters. And I will say this, that X thing ruined Twitter for me.
Yeah,
I never go on there anymore.
Yeah, it sucks. I almost never post anymore. But I did twice this week. Pretty good.
But Myka's Twitter is hilarious. High recommend.
All right. Well, now, Steve, I know you're a little bit of more of an alternative comic.
Yes.
And this is a part of the show we call Spit That Bit. And this is where if you have a bit working up that you're working on, you can throw it to Myka and I. Maybe we can help you with it. Okay. Even though we don't. I'm more of a personality guy myself. Myka's more of a writes good jokes, and then you are a good joke writer that also does weird esoteric comedy.
Yes.
So do you have anything new you're working on?
I thought of something yesterday, actually, that I would love to throw out there.
All right.
So I do. This is true. I have to get a crown on my tooth.
Congratulations.
Do you know how long you can wait? Because they were like $1,800 or something, and I was like, all right, I'll just wait as long as I have to, or as long as I can.
Yeah, it's pain is the factor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pain, and I don't want to pay for it, and so here's the joke: the dentist. God, I'm already embarrassed saying this out loud. Okay.
This is my favorite segment for that reason.
Okay, and if it's not salvageable or good in any way, you just say that too, right?
No, we've never said that.
Okay.
No matter who we have on.
I want to try. This one is quick, so I don't know what thoughts y'all will have. All right, so I went to the dentist and they said you need to get a crown. So great, now I have to buy a ticket to England, and how do you even get into the Buckingham Palace?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking you can end it with, and that's why you have to floss.
That's not. Steve, actually, I like that. I can see you doing it. I think it would work. Could you do something maybe with the guards that don't move, that aren't allowed to move, or something?
That's good.
Well, they're not allowed to smile, and having a great smile is one of the things you go to a dentist for.
Holy shit.
So there's something there. Oh, maybe that's why they don't smile, because they don't have their crowns.
And their work, and maybe you have to work as one of those guys at the Buckingham Palace to get your crown.
Wow.
Now, is that something?
I mean,
this might be the most productive
holy smokes.
bit of all time. I'm dying.
Are you okay, buddy? You want some water?
No, I'm all right.
No, maybe Megan Stalter can hand him some water.
Myka, quit being jealous. Green is not your color.
It is today.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, you guys actually look great.
That's really, I love that guard thing. I'm trying to think. Guys, this is why it's so good to just drop your ego and ask other, because I never would have thought of that.
Well, that's great.
That's so good. I'm trying to think what it could be. I like that they don't smile, too. That's all. So you had the guard one, you had the smile one, but how could you link it in? So now I have to go to England. Go to the Buckingham Palace? I don't know. Yeah.
They don't even.
Well, you just got to take it to the lab. We help a little, and then you can take it to the lab.
Here's something else. If you're going to England, English people are known for having bad teeth, and so it's like, where are all their fucking crowns?
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why Myka's good for this bit. I'm bad for it normally, unless you're Alex Dragovich, where we have like a similar.
This is why they're all fighting for the crown, because nobody there has good teeth.
That's so good.
Here in America, anybody can wear the crown as long as you fucking pull up your boot. I don't know.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
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 That's
Fuck
crazy.
the Iron Cross. We need the Blue Cross.
Whoa.
All right.
Go off, Myka.
Myka, goddamn, she's trying to impress me now and get me back.
Nah, I'll never be famous like Megan. Go find her. Go fucking bang on whatever fucking wall of whatever church she's about to get married in and fucking stop that wedding and go fucking chase your dream
Megan,
of being
Steve told me.
the guy behind the girl. You could be the guy behind the girl way better than this, Tim.
No, I like being behind you, Myka, because I'm way, way bigger than you and taller, and people can see me above you.
Yeah.
And I still get a little
He's like,
shine.
I can't be in your shadow. You're too small.
You're too little.
Fucking
That's pretty good.
brutal.
Yeah. Well, Steve, that was a good spit that bit segment. We got to get to our next segment. We're running low on time.
That's great. That was actually incredible. I will take these notes.
I can't wait until he takes them all and it still bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it'll be great.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The straight white male thing the other day made me laugh very hard,
Yeah.
Steve. Especially when
thank
you
you.
threw your jacket over your
Yeah.
shoulder and walked around.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, Steve, this is a segment on the show called Hot Take of the Week. This is where Myka goes on the internet, finds a situation, gives us the situation,
Okay.
and then we get a little bit of information. We give our take on it immediately, and then she gives us more information. We find out if we were right or wrong.
Got it. Okay.
Am I the asshole? This comes from Reddit's Am I the Asshole?
This is from Reddit. Am I the asshole on Reddit? All right.
I can't say fucking anything without you. Do they need to hear it again from you? This is
What are you mad about?
It's actually pathological what you're doing right now, Steve. Will you be a witness to this? Will you all be a witness to this? Was there something I said that was not clear about any of that? That is
Wow.
actually fucking mentally ill.
Go on.
Unbelievable. May I?
Steve, this is coming from Am I the Asshole on a Reddit?
God. Dear God. You know what, Megan? Good luck.
No,
Just
no,
fucking
no.
you, good luck with that. All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding?
Wow. For refusing to have a fully child-free wedding. Interesting. I'd say no, because it's...
Oh, for not having one.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So, am I the asshole for refusing to for refusing to have a fully child-free wedding?
Wow.
So
I would say no. If it's your wedding, if you want to have, you can have whatever wedding you want. So I would say no, unless these people are. Is she getting married to a pedophile?
Well, we don't know yet.
I guess that's true. I guess if she was getting married to a pedophile and all his friends were pedophiles, then yes. But otherwise, I would say no.
That's a good point.
It's funny to imagine her knowing that and telling her friend, he's a pedophile.
But bring your kids.
Yeah. Like, there's just a disclaimer at the bottom of the invite. Bring your own children at your own risk.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it a man or a woman, or do we not know?
We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't know yet. Okay. So they're saying refusing to have a child-free wedding. No, I agree with Tim. It's your wedding. You get to do what you want.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out. Let's find out who you guys are right. So recently I proposed to my long-term girlfriend.
Oh, it was a man the entire time.
It is a man. And we are planning for a wedding in the summer next year. Everything is still in the early stages. My fiance expressed that she wants a child-free wedding, which I am all down for, but I want to make one it says expectation, but I think he means exception. My son, a 15-year-old male. I had him from a previous relationship, and we have evenly split custody of him. Until now, my fiance has gotten along great with him. We've had days out as a family. She's gone to see his games. He plays ice hockey, and she's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. I brought up that I wanted to make an exception to the no kids rule for my son, She shot the idea down straight away and said she didn't want anyone under 16 there, as she doesn't want to feel like she or anyone else has to babysit on her special day.
He's 15. You don't have to babysit a 15-year-old.
And it's his fucking son.
Yeah.
It's his son. This is so absurd. I told her that no one would have to babysit him, points to him. He's 15 and she knows he's well behaved and generally a quiet kid. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my old family and life on the day I was supposed to be making a commitment to her and our new family. I told her while I was making commitment to her, my son will still very much be my son and my family. She then equated it to wanting my ex at our wedding, which I do not and have never asked. I told her that I don't care about the aesthetics of the wedding and that she can pick everything else out, the food, the aesthetic, the music, the dress. All I want is my family at the wedding, my parents, my sisters, and my son. That is the only ultimatum when it comes to our wedding. She started calling me controlling by giving me an ultimatum and said I had initially agreed to a child-free wedding and now I'm gaslighting her.
Wow.
I said we can have a mainly child-free wedding, but with this one exception, an exception that guests can't even complain about being unfair since the only child is the son of the groom.
That's true. You can't. I mean, you can't be. Listen, if I go and I can't bring my teenager, but the groom's teenager is there, I'm like, well, yeah, it's a guy's son.
It's this, like, not inviting the kid is so much more insane.
I think this guy should not even get married to this woman at all.
That's what I was thinking. That she's a walking red flag.
Horrendous. Yeah, last sentence. She called me a dick and is now not talking to me.
Good.
I really think this is a reasonable one, but maybe I'm not seeing something. Am I the asshole?
Oh, this poor guy. No, that is a crazy woman, it sounds like.
If you marry this woman, you are fucking over your son. That is such a huge fuck you to your son.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't want his old life there. She sees his. That's your son, my man. Oh, dude, this lady's a bitch.
Do you also think that maybe she put that in place because she knew she was really only talking about the son, and she cast it under this broad rule of no kids?
Well, yeah, because she's like, just no one's 16 and under. And it's like, well, 16 is still a child. You know what I mean? It's clearly like whatever age her son was, she was going to do that plus one.
Yeah, 29-year-olds, yeah.
I feel like child at a wedding means anyone who can't drink.
Yes.
If you legally can't drink, you shouldn't be.
Come on, 18-year-olds.
If you're, I'd still count it as a child because you legally can't drink, and if that's what you want at your wedding is everyone getting drunk, you shouldn't have anyone under 21 there.
It's so absurd. Of course, your fucking direct offspring should be at your wedding.
Yeah, especially 15. You're basically a functioning human in every aspect, right?
Yeah.
You're not, because when you said kids, I'm imagining them running around, and wreaking
someone
havoc,
gonna cry and throw a little,
totally.
Like whatever. It's just like, oh, can we just be adults and get drunk in front of them? It's like you can get drunk in front of a 15-year-old. They can handle that.
Absolutely. Wow. So do we find out the outcome or?
So basically, like, I don't know if we know the outcome. Let me look at his thing and see. He's child-free wedding son. That, I guess it's a throwaway account.
Wow.
Everyone in the thing is like, yo, you would be the asshole if you marry this woman.
Yeah, okay, good.
Like if you haven't fought with her like this before, this is a huge. Everyone's saying, do not marry her.
Yep.
Do not do it. Even at child-free weddings, this is a reasonable exception. Right. Oh, it says he will. He edited. He will still be 15 by the wedding. The date was mutually agreed upon. I'm not her, so I don't know exactly why 16 was chosen. We know why, but we are from the UK, where 16 is when kids finish secondary school. So maybe it was that. No, you're fucking coming up with excuses, dude.
Yeah, you're out. This lady's out. You got to divorce her or just not get married to her. She sounds like a horrible person.
Yeah. Fuck.
Wow. Cool.
God, I wish we got a picture.
Yeah,
he's probably ugly. Every time,
he probably is.
Every
ugly.
time there's a relationship thing where they're like, "Am I the asshole for not putting up with my horribly abusive partner?"
Sure.
I just pictured like just the ugliest, saddest person.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you, man.
And your ugly kid, probably.
Well, Myka, that was a great hot take today.
Thanks.
And now it's time for the best segment of the show, Steve. Reviews for the podcast. Based on time today, I'm keeping the news segment out.
Yes, I was so nervous. This is Tim's silent way of apologizing to me for being a full asshole today.
When was I a full asshole today?
We'll review the tapes. Continue with reviews.
Myka, when was I a full asshole? When I took all the ACs downstairs? When I measured the basement walls?
Look, he fucking got a tape measure and measured the walls. Fucking.
When I drew it on this piece of paper and sent it to you? Anyways, reviews for the podcast. This is where you can go on Apple iTunes, leave your own 5-star review. You don't have to leave a 5-star review because, of course, we live in America, which is a free country. You're free to do whatever you want. Or you can leave any kind of review you want, but we would like it. There are none on iTunes, but there are some on YouTube. So you can go to our if you're watching this on YouTube, like, of course, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then leave a comment, and we'll read it here on the show. Here we go. This is from our last episode with Tyler Mead. LJ1 says, here for the Uncle Jemima bust status. And then a couple of these.
Dude,
salutes.
even our fans have fans now.
Yeah, people
cool.
are a big fan of Uncle Jemima's bust status here in the comments. Tarman says, funny ending. Thanks. Uncle Jemima says, here it is. Mm-hmm. This was the best episode of the best podcast. It made me hard, and it made me bust. Let's go.
Good Lord. That's a good comment.
He busts on every ep and lets us know.
We did not get a bust status for last episode, actually. But thank you, Uncle Jemima. I'm sorry if you were sick or something and couldn't bust last week. Gregory Levine says, great episode. I love the dynamic of you two and Tyler added to it nicely. Mal Stodden says, Myka had Tim Dad laughing a bunch. So funny. John M. says, Hall of Fame ep, you guys are hilarious. Great guest, too. Also, Tim, Myka deserves a picture book. I don't remember what that is about.
That's about you making a picture book for your best friend, Andrew, about your fucking honeymoon together.
Yeah. All right, I'll make you a picture book, Myka.
First, you have to take me on something worth remembering.
Oh, dear God. Steve, I feel like I'm getting like the third degree here, and I haven't done anything today.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's love, though. It's all love.
Oh, yeah.
This is your love language, y'all.
G. Bresto says, pull one sus point off the board for Tim's shoes. I don't know if that's a compliment or you being mean to me, but thank you. Christian Ferrio, I don't know. So funny, loved Tim's Buddy Moon story and Myka's 1,000-yard stare, which looked to be Myka reflecting on how Europe was 100% ruined for her romantically. Tyler was a great guest and 100% called it subscribe now. And Alan Thickdick says, let people know about the Reddit. We have a subreddit. You can check it out at r/Great Hang Podcast.
Did you say Alan Thickdick?
Yeah, that's Alan Thickdick. He's one of our fans.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's one of our best fans.
Oh, that's a lot of comments. That's great.
Yeah, so check out the subreddit at r/Great Hang Podcast. Now, Steve.
Yes.
This is a part of the show where Myka reads us. She gives us a question from something where we have to fall in love with her.
All right, this is Arthur Aronson's questions. He
There's
came
one.
up with 30. I don't know what he has to introduce everything. This is really wild.
I'm the host of the show, and I have the podcast format in front of me.
All right, he came up with 36 questions you're supposed to ask each other on a date, and by the end of it, you should be in love with each other. And I was like, what if I could get Tim and my guest to fall in love with me?
Okay.
And I think you are finally on the episode which I said Tim would hate and is just horrible anyway. So you are in a real tough one. We are on question number 18.
Oh, you've been working through them every time. Okay.
Yeah. So each week we try and get through them. This is
halfway through. Did you say there's 36 questions?
Yeah. So we're halfway through.
Wow.
So Tim should be halfway in love with me.
I'm fully in love with Myka, and nothing will separate us, even if she's mad at me for absolutely no reason on the episode.
What is your most terrible memory?
Oh, wow.
Dear Lord.
What is your most terrible memory? That one's tough. Myka, you've known the question. Do you have an answer for us?
So, actually, I was thinking about it. And
I feel like you should be the headliner of this, though.
Yeah. Well, I have so many to choose from, and they all star one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any, like, ultra terrible memories.
You don't have any terrible Tim's all of Tim's things are just like, oh well, once my mom got mad at me for eating an extra cookie or some shit.
I'll give you a terrible memory. I have a terrible memory. Okay. So
yeah, you have a lot of dead relatives. Don't you feel bad about any of them?
Well, that is, none of those are going to come up in this. So in my early 20s, I got into online poker pretty hard, and I ran up a pretty solid debt on online poker to the point where I had to work. I had to work 3 jobs. I worked every single day for over 2 years to pay off my poker debts, right? And I had a talk with my parents and with a bunch of other people. I had gone to Gamblers Anonymous. I was going to therapy for my gambling problem, and then I got caught playing poker again one day, and I walked downstairs, and I got yelled at by my parents, of course. But then also, the memory was terrible because I could see how bad I had betrayed my parents, and also my dad held a knife to my face, which I think was really pushed across the point that he was pretty pissed at me.
Like he waved it in your face?
He didn't wave it in my face. He held it on my face.
Oh my God.
Jesus, God, your dad's such a badass.
And it's the most mad I've ever seen him in my life.
What was he saying with the knife?
He was just...
He let the knife do the talking.
Yeah, he was kind of just displaying how upset he was.
Oh
but
gosh.
I would say that is my worst memory.
Good heavens. Wow.
Because I felt a lot of shame. I let my parents down. I let them down all the time. That actually isn't the thing, because I'm like a failure and a loser. So like I let people down constantly. That's not the thing I worried about, but by how disappointed they were in me and how upset it made them, I think that was really bad.
Wow. Man. I've only played poker once, and it was in person. I've never done online poker.
Well, you shouldn't. It's a good way to lose a lot of money.
Did you win a lot of money, too?
The very first time I played, I got second place in a poker tournament, and I won $13,000.
Good Lord, well, there you go.
And then I lost that $13,000 the next day in about 2 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Have you ever gambled, Myka?
For fun. I understand the value of $1, so I don't really put a lot of it out there.
Yeah, I definitely. If I won $100, I would get up and walk away.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. But I know that some people like to keep it going.
Got to bet big to win big, baby.
That's true.
I did lose a lot of money in the stock market. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's
gambling.
gambling.
Version of gambling.
Mm-hmm.
But it could come back. Steve, do you have a...
I know it already, and I'm glad that this is the question.
You're glad it's the question.
Well, it's good. Well, because I have a good one, and so when I was in my 20s, like probably 27, I was doing comedy. I was trying to figure out who I was, but I was always a funny guy in high school, and I won the talent show for stand-up comedy. Cool. And I think there's the tape of it that I'm gonna find one day, and so everyone was like, "Steve, he's the comedian. He's funny," So my friend gets. Was that like a comedian? He's funny. I don't know why I got Italian there.
Stevie.
Come on. So my friend got married, and he said, "Do you want to officiate our wedding?"
Oh, no.
And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, we know you're going to kill. You're going to be so funny. Whatever you do is going to be great." And I was like, "Sure." And I went back, and I don't know. Have you guys ever just like frozen on stage?
Oh, wow.
I went up and I like looked out, and also the night before I was back in my hometown, so we all went out and got completely hammered. So I was kind of super hungover, and I went up.
I was kind of super hungover.
So I'm standing there, my entire family, every single person I went to high school with, pretty much that I was friends with, my mom's friends, everyone from the town where I grew up. Everyone who was like, Steve's off in Chicago. He's going to be a star. And we're going to get a glimpse of it here. His magic that he's been working on in Chicago. And I shit the bed.
Wow.
I'll never forget this. My hand started shaking like this because I had the DTs. Yes. Yeah. It might have been that, It certainly didn't help that I didn't go for a jog or something before, but and it was like a bad dream. Truly, I was like, I'm gonna blink and open my eyes and be in my bed, and this is not gonna be real because I'm looking up at all these faces, all the faces from my life up until that point, just like, oh no. And then like I started seeing people kind of cast their eyes down, you know. They couldn't look.
God.
And my God, afterwards, I also forgot very key parts. I forgot the ring part.
I forgot that you may kiss the part.
I didn't forget that part. I left
He
something.
led with that.
One of the bridesmaids came up and was like, "Hey, this is really important. I don't have pockets because the patriarchy, women don't get pockets." So she's like, "I don't have pockets. Can you hold this for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, totally." And I just set it down on a table.
Oh my God!
Without knowing. And then we're up there, and I'm like, "Okay, now Bridget is going to." I had to stop the wedding while everyone looked for the thing on the table, whatever it was. I can't remember.
A ring.
It wasn't a ring. It was some other little wedding,
like doodad or trinket or something.
Like, yeah, or it might have been like she read a poem. I can't remember exactly, but I'd be like,
God,
guys, this is embarrassing, but we have to stop. And can everyone look on their tables to see if Bridget's poem is there?
Wow.
And at the end, I for some reason thought it'd be funny to say, and now let's celebrate good times. Come on. And then everyone was like, what?
Celebrate good times.
If you have the music queued up, then maybe.
And I like walked off and like I can still feel it now. It took years to get over this.
Wow.
It was so brutal, and everyone was trying to be nice, but
and you got to stay at the party now for the rest of the night.
Myka, you're so right. For hours, and then afterwards going to bars with them.
Can you imagine bombing and then having to be around the audience for hours?
It's like being a cruise ship comedian.
Oh my God! But you can at least hide in your room.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
And no one. The thing is, I knew how bad it was because no one really said anything.
Yeah, that's worse than you think.
Absolutely. My mom might have said. It's funny. God bless my mother. I love her, but she was like, someone did a speech at a bachelor speech, and she leaned over to me and she's like, "He's not very good." I was like, "Mom, you don't have to do that." She was trying to be like, "Look, he's not doing good either."
Oh my God!
So it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, everyone's bombing at this wedding. It's the
totally.
I think it's the audience. Yeah.
And I honestly, when I would go home to my family for like the next year, because you know when you're always wondering what are they thinking
about this time about my most tragic moment,
right? But probably they don't care and they forgot. I don't know. I never brought it up to anyone ever again. And then years later, like 4 years later, I was at a friend's house when I was back. I'm from Maryland, where my family is, and he was like, "Oh, you were the guy who did that wedding thing," and I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "Yeah, that was really funny." And I decided to accept that, and I think that's when I was finally able to let
Is there any chance that you didn't bomb and you just had some like weird...
No.
Okay.
Because my family didn't... They wouldn't really address it. Or nice job, Steve. Yeah. Cool. Where's the bar? Like it was like that.
Wow.
And imagine all of like, you know, all of my friends, all my friends' parents.
Yeah.
And they all thought, like, "Oh, Steve, he's always been so funny. He's going to absolutely blow this out of the water."
We all have an off night.
I know, but why did I have to do it in front of everyone?
Yeah, that's rough.
That does suck when your off night is in front of everybody.
That's my worst memory, so.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh,
I think it was pretty good. I think I've started. Mine was kind of light. Steve's was pretty brutal. And now here we are on Myka. What will she give us?
It's crazy because I'm sitting there, I'm like... What can even the audience handle? Mm-hmm. Steve, Tim knows this. You might not know this. I come from what we call a bad family, right? A bad family. Listen, I think I'll tell it anyway. Fuck it. So this is about the day I went to college, right?
Oh, this is a great bad memory.
It's horrendous, right? So I'm leaving for college. My dad had to go to work that day. It was just, whatever. And so he wasn't at home. It was just me in the house about to leave. Everyone had already left. And at this point, my mom no longer lived with us. And she wasn't very much of a part of my life. We had a very, not a good relationship, let's say. But, she took a lot of personal offense to that. And she begged me to drive with me to college. I would drive my car, she would drive her car, help me move all of my stuff. So, the plan was she was going to come and pick me up early in the day, and we would drive out to California. We're going from Phoenix to LA, and she would drive with me, and she begged me to do this, and I'm like, I really could use a second car's worth of stuff, and it would be less scary to drive, like as a caravan. So I let her do this with me. So I pack all of my stuff up, and I put it by the front door, so that way we can like easily move the stuff into both of our cars, and get the fuck out of Dodge. And so the day before, I'm like, calling to check in. I hadn't heard from her, right? And so I'm like, hey, I really think we should leave by this and this time, so that way we're not hitting LA traffic. That we got to time this right. I don't hear anything back from her. I'm like, okay. So now it's like during the day, and it's like past noon, and it's like this is like a 6 to 8 hour drive, right? So it's like a long day, and it's like getting past noon. I don't hear from her. I'm like, I think I can wait as long as 3 p.m. and then then what it's going to be like almost midnight by the time we get in. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So it's about 3 p.m. and I'm like, she's not coming. I'm realizing she's not coming. So I just start figuring out what's the stuff that I can take with me, and I pack up my car with like less than half the stuff I was planning to bring with me to college, and just leaving the rest of the stuff by the front door. And I'm like, God, this is fucking brutal. And I like do one last thing. I'm like, I'm crying, whatever. I'm like, I'll just go in and wash my face, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of there. And no one's even there to say goodbye to me as I leave my house for what I was like, this is the last time. I am not coming back here. And so I go in to wash my face, and the phone rings. And I pick it up, and there's a man on the other end. He goes, yes, can I speak to Myka? And I was like, and that happens all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is Myka who's calling. And he's like, oh, I'm a friend of, and I'm going to redact her name, but, her first name. And I'm a friend of, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there in my head, and you don't know how to pronounce my name, dude? Mm-hmm. You're not even pronouncing my fucking name right. You haven't heard her say my name. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm with your mom. And I'm like, okay, well, where is she? I'm trying to leave. And she's like, oh yeah, she just wants to say she's sorry and she's running a little late. And I'm like, a little late? Like, I haven't heard from her, and I'm fucking trying to leave. I'm like, where is she? And he's like, oh yeah, we're in Mexico. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a little more than a little late, my dude. You're not even in the same country. And
country makes it so funny.
And she can't even like call me herself to tell me this. She gets some fucking whatever, weirdo to call me, not even by the right fucking name. And he's like, yeah. She says, told me, I just wait for her. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, tell her I will. And then I hang up and fucking I was like, peace. Fucking went out and drove away. No map, because I had not planned it. I was just gonna follow her. And drove away all alone to leave my home forever.
Wow, Myka. Oh.
And you want to know, it's like, have you ever seen the movie City Slickers?
Yeah.
They're like, what's the best day of your life? What's the worst day of your life? And then the guy's like, same day.
Yes.
I always think of that. And I thought even about last day, because it was like one of also, even though it was like just fucking like, God damn it, my family really does not give a fuck about me. But it was also very empowering to finally be like, I'm fucking free, man. And like, not even guiltily, like being like, I don't owe these people shit.
Yes. Ain't
nobody here to say goodbye to me. I am fucking done.
Do you feel like she did you some kind of weird favor by giving you that permission to cut her out forever?
I mean, she gave me that many times.
Yeah.
Oh, there were many times before that, and there have been many times since, my dude.
Yeah. So it seems so cruel and it's such a testament to a child always wanting to give them other chances.
And then like later, I had contact with her, multiple times since then, and one of those times while I was in college, she was like, "You didn't even let me take you to school."
No.
And I was like, "We cannot do this. I will never forget that day for as long as I live." I remember I had to at one point along the trip, I just stopped at a gas station to buy a map. because this was a pre-GPS
Yeah,
era, not to date myself, but I was just like, I know the 10 goes to California.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, let me just get the fuck out of the state and I'll figure it out from there.
What do you think happened? Do you think she just maybe
Forgot to take her daughter to college after she begged her to do it?
Was it like a drug issue or maybe like a mental health issue?
I mean, clearly there's a mental health issue happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's number one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Clearly there's but I don't like what factors were at play. I'll never know, because the only time I never even brought it up. I was like, this is not a thing you bring up. She brought it up as though I was the villain of this story.
That's so funny.
Which is like so. It was so wild. I was like, of course you see me as the. I didn't wait for her.
Yeah.
I didn't wait. I'm the terrible daughter.
You didn't wait the 12 and a half
who
hours
didn't
it would have
wait
taken.
for whatever mystery amount of time there was. She was in Mexico. She might have never actually showed up. My dad lived at that house for all. Like, he never reported some story of like your mom came to the house and was mad. There was like none of that.
Why? But Mexico. Why did she go to Mexico? Did you?
I
have no idea.
Because it wasn't like I was going to call. Like, at this point, I'm like, we are done.
Right.
This is done.
Yep.
You know, like I didn't even. At that point, our relationship was so bad. I was like, I don't. Who doesn't want their parent to take them to college?
No, that's yeah.
Like she had to beg me to do that, and I was like, I don't fucking trust this lady. This is a bad idea, you know.
Oh God, that one broke my heart.
I'd heard it before.
Maybe do a funny one next time, Myka. That was serious.
No, this is our most terrible memory. I mean, I have worse ones. I could do worse ones.
I'll tell you this, Myka, I'm even more in love with you than I was before.
Aw, are you in love with me, Steve?
Oh yes, definitely.
And I'm a little bit in love with you guys. This
Yes.
is, even Tim.
Can I ask one last
Even
thing?
Tim.
No, I love Tim.
So you went to college.
Yeah.
When did you, did you ever reach out? When did you talk to her again?
Oh, when she just showed up unannounced and ambushed me at college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, kind of want to hear that one too. but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Maybe
Tune in
next
time.
Maybe next episode.
And honestly, I'm a little scared because she stalks me online and is probably hearing the story, and it's the first time she's probably ever heard my side of the story, and is probably furious right now.
Well, if you're listening, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/great. All right, Steve, this is a time of the episode for you to shine. This is a fun party story or a tip for being a great hang.
Fun party story. Tip
I
for
mean,
the
if you
hang.
can beat what I just did
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
fun story.
I love
Yeah.
that story though. I love both your stories.
Oh, thanks. See, I
Thanks,
love
I
your
loved
story
yours.
too.
Yeah, this is fun. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, good. I'm glad you're having a nice time.
Okay, so fun party story, and then what's a tip? Tip for being a good hang.
You could just do one or the other. It doesn't really matter.
I'll do the tip. And actually, it's weird. I had a meeting with my boss yesterday, and I was like, oh no. He scheduled a meeting on Friday at 11. And I'm like, that's when they fire people, on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
was thinking
yeah.
about your set at the open mic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. Like, I'm getting fired. I was convinced. I was like, it's in the air. And so we sit down and we meet, and I was like, hey, what's up, Derek? And he's like, hey. And we chatted, and then he's like, listen, I want to run something by you. Would you want to do a training on how to kind of how to do that? Because I talk to students for my job. He's like, would you want to kind of put a training together to help some of the other people with that? And I was like, what? So it wasn't getting fired. In fact, it was like praise.
Yeah, he loves you.
Yes. And so he asked me, he's like, what is your secret? And I said, my secret is to become curious about people. And he goes, oh, yeah. And I luckily have that sort of innately. I am very curious about everyone. So my tip for being a good hang is to be curious about the person
Be
in front
a
of you.
curious soul.
Yeah, and really listen, actively listen, and don't just wait for your turn to talk. And that, I know that's not really funny. And also get fucked up. Like, I don't know.
This is the opposite
And get
of-
fucked up.
It's the opposite of what I do.
Yeah, he's like, and don't just wait for your turn to talk, he says, as Tim jumps in immediately to say, I do that. That's me. I heard me.
Yeah.
I talk. I'm the talk guy.
And but of course there are times when you're like, oh my God, please shut up. But
You're like, I guess I was a little too curious here.
yes, totally. And you can. It's like opening. It's like you press a button and open. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, no one has ever really. This person has never really been listened to before, and then like it comes gushing out. So happened just the other day. But that's my tip for being a good hang. and a good person too.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's a great tip. And I do want to say, just for clarification, almost nobody ever fires people on Fridays. It's actually the worst time to fire someone. You think it'd be a good idea because then they have the weekend, but it's actually, you're supposed to fire people on a Monday or Tuesday the latest, because then they're not just like on a Friday, there's nothing they can do about it. So you give them 2 whole days to possibly like go to the dark place, drink, KMS, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you give them Monday so that way they can like put their resume together, start reaching out to feelers to other jobs, give them a sense of like agency.
Yep.
That's when you fire people, and anybody who works in HR management would know that.
Okay. For some reason, I always thought Friday.
Because it seems like when you
And
finish
that's
the
what
week,
they say in movies and TV shows
That's
and stuff.
why.
Yeah.
I was like, why do I think that?
yeah, so that way you're not dealing with them later in the week and stuff like that. No, you fire them earlier and then you give them the week off.
Got it.
That's what you do.
Speak of KMS and unaliving, it's time to speak ill of the dead.
Oh, I was like, you have a war update?
No, it's time to
Wait,
speak.
what, you guys don't do the party tips or tricks, or
No, just from you.
Just from you.
just
We've done countless. This is like our 100th and 120th episode. We've done
Congratulations, Tim.
yeah. I mean 300 more and we can freaking blaze
Tim,
it.
do you have a tear? Are you still crying from our stories?
Yeah, they really got me. Okay, speak ill of the dead. Steve, do you have a dead person to talk shit about?
I definitely do, and I and thank you for those prompts, because I love prompts, because you can be. I was thinking about it, and I was like, who would it be? And I was like, oh, I'll do like Jeffrey Epstein, and I'll be so funny.
Yeah.
I'll be the first guy to make fun of him. It'd be so funny. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I remembered, so when I was in high school, I was kind of going down the wrong road a little bit. I mean, as much as you can in suburbia, but I was starting to like smoke weed and hang out with like guys who were
Pretty cool.
on the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to think about. I mean, the wrong side of the tracks. No one was really on the wrong side of the tracks, but there were some bad kids. And there was a kid who lived up the street from my house named Clarence Thieveridge, and he was a bad seed. There's something off about this boy. And probably because his parents were divorced. I think his dad was dead, and his mom married a man named Deadeye who had one eye, and had been on. She married him after he got out of jail for murder.
Oh,
so he
wow.
lived with a murderer who would be like, Clarence, they would go and get drugs. So Clarence was like, we all started smoking weed, and then, you could tell that he was probably going to keep going. But I hung out with him for a while to smoke weed. And I remember they would rip me off all the time. One time they go, seriously, I was such a sucker. I was like, well, here's my $20. So, and he goes, okay, well, we got to go in there and get it. And I'm like, can I come in? He's like, you can't be in there when we're putting it in the bag, dude. That's just how it works. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're in there just like putting in a fraction of what I paid for. Anyway, so one day I came home and my mom was like, what are you hanging out with? His name was Clarence Thieveridge.
Yeah.
A nice thievering name. That's insane.
Get ready. So, and my mom was like, what is this kid? Why are you hanging out with this kid? Because he would like come over. He could walk to my house. And so then one day I came home and everything of value in my house was gone.
Jesus.
So he had seen where the secret key was one time when we came over, and him and 2 of his friends came and cleaned the entire house out.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah.
What do you get, a whole truck for that?
I don't know. I don't know what the operation was, but I was like, he's
Like furniture and all?
not furniture.
Yeah.
It was like anything-
VCRs?
Yes,
Yeah.
VCR. Like there were like musical instruments. Anything that you could pawn was
Jeez.
gone. And have you ever been robbed before?
Yeah.
No.
It's so strange because you walk in and you're like, huh? Oh, wait. Because everything is kind of still
Yeah.
there, but there's like a missing.
It's the worst feeling ever because
Yeah.
you're like, am I in a different universe?
totally,
Yeah.
and it's a very violating feeling.
Yes.
Your house was robbed?
Well, I had my apartment robbed by either someone the landlord hired to like replace my door, and they kept a key. I called the cops. There was like no forced entry, so I assume they had a key. And like just my laptop and headphones were like just missing from my apartment. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
So there was that, and then also my dad's house got robbed multiple times by a head he was dating.
Oh.
So similar
Yes.
situation.
That will happen.
Well, you know what? I just want to say, and I'm going to be quick with the ending here, but I wanted to say there was one sort of foreshadowing occurrence. So because back then you had booklets of CDs. Do you all
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
And I had like 200 CDs. I keep moving the mic. I'm sorry. If we can't use any of this?
No, it's fine. I'll run it through a thing and it'll be all right.
So I had like 200 CDs. You know, that's like, and that's important because that's how you listen to your music. You drive around, put your CDs in. And one day I came home and it was a similar thing, like your laptop. I'm like, where are those CDs? You know, I just couldn't find them. And I'm not the most organized person. And then I was like, they're not here. And I was like, oh. And I walked to Clarence's house. The door was unlocked. I walked in. No one was there. I walked into his room, and there are the CDs on his bed.
Jesus.
So I take them and then take them home. The next time I saw him, I'm like, dude, why did you steal my CDs? And he goes, I didn't.
Oh, no.
And I was like, Clarence, they were on your bed. He goes, I don't know, man, but I didn't.
I don't know, man.
It's a
but
great point.
He goes, I just don't know, man, but I didn't do it. And he wouldn't veer from that. He's just like, I didn't do it. And I was like, but they were in your room. And he's like, I can't explain it, but I didn't do it. So that happened like a month before. And I, at that point, should have, he probably would have done it anyway. But
Yeah.
So then I was like, this idiot probably took it to the pawn shop that's a mile away versus the one that's 60 miles away or something. And sure enough, we drove to the pawn shop, and there was all the stuff.
Oh, my God. So were you legally just able to get it all back?
We got it all back, and he went to jail.
Cool.
And now he's dead.
And so then, like 6 years ago,
He got hit by a car.
no, my friend
Damn
Tim
it.
Fortin was like, you remember Clarence? And I was like, yeah, dude. And he goes, he's dead. I was like,
Yeah, that's for the best.
oh, man.
No. The man who stole everything from my house. Rest in peace.
Rest in piss, Charles Thieveridge.
Clarence
Thieveridge,
And
yeah.
with a name like Thieveridge, he never had a chance.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
I hope he's in hell getting butt fucked by the devil by all kinds of shit that the devil has stolen.
Yes.
I hope the devil steals your dick and fucks you with it.
Yeah.
I hope the devil steals his CD booklet.
That's right.
Yes, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Oh, but so he went to jail. The same guy, Tim. Do you have friends who are like, hey, they're shit stirrers. Like anytime something bad happens to someone, you get like, he'll send me a newspaper clipping of like, did you know that guy Chris Oliver is arrested for pedophilia? You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Chris Oliver, stop doing that.
He sent me a newspaper article from like probably 4 years after 4 years before Clarence died, that Clarence was in jail for 30 years or something
Jesus.
for heroin, selling heroin.
Oh.
Finally, a racket where you make some cash.
So he died in jail.
So he died in jail, and I don't. You want to call the jail and be like, how did he die?
Did
Can't really
he
do that,
get shivved? I hope he got shivved. He
know.
stole everything from my family's home.
So that's the person that I'm not. Honestly, I'm just not sad that he's dead.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Clarence.
Fuck you, dog.
Totally.
Myka, you got anybody?
Yes, I do. And someone who I think is equally deserving of being spoken ill of, it is Ansel Adams.
Oh, the picture taker himself.
Famed photographer Ansel Adams, who got famous taking pictures of God's work. Oh, yeah, God does all this work making Yosemite National Forest, and you take a picture of it, not even in the colors of the world, but in black and white.
Thank you.
In black and white, and now everyone has your pictures in their house.
Yes.
It doesn't even look like the thing.
Yes.
Nature is beautiful, and you're like, what if it was less beautiful and I made money off of it?
Soldier Boy, tell them.
Fuck you, AA. I hope you're fucking rotting in black and white in hell.
I hope you're in the devil's fucking dark room getting butt fucked like crazy.
That's right.
Fuck yeah, someone finally said it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Myka.
And I'm going to talk shit on a little guy named Socrates. Oh, you were such a good philosopher? But hey, what's your philosophy? That you like to fuck little kids? I don't think so, you pedophilic asshole. I hope the devil's taking dead children and shoving them in your fucking ass. Rest in piss, Socrates. Rest in piss, Clarence Thieveridge. And rest in fucking piss, Ansel Adams, you fucking picture-taking nobody.
you.
Hope all you guys are down in hell getting butt fucked by the devil while you have to triple kiss. All right.
I do like that your rest in piss for Socrates did use the Socratic method, where you're like, "Oh, what do you like to teach philosophy to little kids?" And it's like that's what he would do.
Yeah.
He would ask questions until you out your own problems.
Yeah.
I was like, Tim. He got you. He got one over on you, even from hell.
Dude, I didn't know
And that makes me even more fucking mad. Fuck you.
Yep. I didn't know that about Socrates. Man.
They all
They
did
all
it.
fucked kids.
You're heroes.
It
you're
was
heroes.
cool then.
Yeah.
It's time for sign-offs. This is the final segment of the show. This is where we just say signing off, and we do our little sign-off. Steve, here's how you do it.
Yep.
Signing off, it is I, the greatest man who has ever lived. A man who will not be swayed by others' love and still loves his girlfriend Myka Fox till the very end. A man who also has never interrupted anyone in his life ever once and is a nice boy who is a sweetie. Your Patreon dad, patreon.com/greathang, your free feed best friend, Timothy Grady McLaughlin II. Thank you all very much.
McGrady is your middle name?
No, it's Grady McLaughlin. I think I might have said McGrady like an ass.
Oh,
And
Tim Grady McLaughlin, yeah.
And signing off, it is I, the kindest woman in the world. A woman who went to college and ended up being on the dean's list with a 3.9 GPA. No thanks, needing nobody but her own self. A woman who, Meg, if you got $20K, you can have them at a steal. It is me, Steve's friend, Tim's girlfriend for now, and your friend and podcast host, Myka Fox.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
I'm nervous. This is the nerve-wracking one. Y'all did so good there.
As long as you say signing off, you can't fail.
Okay, signing off, a guy who's just doing his best, on the grind every day, trying to do the right thing when he can, but recognizing that he's a human being too. Okay? It's Steve Malden signing off. Peace out.
And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.